Hey guys, it's Ian here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another comic book review. Today we're looking at Witchblade, issue number 4, with this awesome green color to it that I really like. And there's no changes to the team. It's still Bennett, Cafaro, Prianta, and Pateri. And I hope that this team continues to work on this for a long time. I hope that this is a very long and meaningful run for Witchblade, right? So this issue opens up with Sarah having a nightmare of her loss of agency, right? She deeply fears the fact that she is no longer herself, that the Witchblade has taken over her, especially when we get to see that she has lost control multiple times at this point, right? And throughout this nightmare, we see this awesome imagery of her breaking down into all of her fundamental pieces, right? So we see her fully in skin and in clothes, I think, and then we see her as musculature, and then as bones, and then as a nervous system. I feel like there should have been a bit more in between those, right? Like maybe a version of her that was naked, and then one that was like her organs, and then her nervous system, right? I think that there could have been a bit more to that, but this is a similar imagery to Alan Moore's Dr. Manhattan, right? I just watched the Watchmen anime with my roommate yesterday, so I had that kind of concept in my mind. And so it's pretty awesome imagery regardless, but I feel like there could have been a few more transitions, right, between them. And it's really cool. And so she wakes up after this crazy loss of agency dream, and she finds Ian in her kitchen, and she gets very mad at him. She freaks out, understandably so, I would say, but also in a way that maybe doesn't completely make sense. Like, so Ian sneaks into her house. I doubt this is the first time he's done it, and he tries to play it off as him being romantic, making her breakfast because they're like messing around together or something, right? They're fooling around, so he thinks it's supposed to be romantic. She is mad at him, and I think it's mostly because of her loss of agency dream leads into her other, female-centric issues that deal with loss of privacy and agency when it comes to interacting with men, right? And so I guess it does make sense overall, but I was a bit unsure about it the first time I read through it. I felt like it was a bit too much, like it was understandable that she was mad. It was understandable why she was mad and how. I just don't necessarily think that the level at which she was mad really makes sense. But now that I'm talking through it, I think it does work out for her, right? So, she gets mad at him for breaking in. She manages to kick him out of her house, and she moves on. She is at the gym in a different scene later, forward in time, and we see that it's Sarah and her friend Michael. They're boxing, and they're talking about her life and her dad, and she's beating the shit out of her friend Michael, but they're just sparring, so it's not too bad. And they talk about her dad, and they decide to go through the issues that they've been through before and just go through all of the boroughs in New York, chasing down old information about her family. And the thing is that at this point, it seems like they've exhausted all of the possible information they could find, but Sarah just has this need to go through it again, and so she does. And she has some sort of a vision of the coming darkness, right, which has been teased already. And because of this vision, she gets a bit of insight. There's a person that kind of disappeared even though they're not dead. And so she thinks that the right thing to do is go find their information. And so they move on to Staten Island. They go into an old house, and they find some of those Creole ghouls again, or ghouls or gals? Ghouls, right? And Sarah and Michael have to beat them back. And the thing is that Sarah can't show off her abilities to Michael. She doesn't feel comfortable doing so. And so she has to act kind of sly about it. And eventually they manage to beat some of them back. But one of them is not backing down, and then Ian shows up, and he brings her the man that she was looking for, and then Sarah gets angry at him again, and they leave. Then we see that that's the way the story ends. There's a bit more to it, but that's basically the main gist of this. I'm very excited for the darkness to show up. I think it'll be really cool when he does. And I'm curious to see how this is going to be different from previous iterations. Although I'm not someone that's a fan of the darkness, I've never read any of the darkness comic books. I am generally aware of the character, and so I'm very curious to see if I'm going to like them this time around. At the end of the book, we had a memoriam for Elena Salcedo, who I think was one of the key figures in Top Cow and at Image over some time, and she died kind of an untimely death. And so there was some writing for her and stuff. I didn't read through it. I don't know who this person is. So, you know, I appreciate that it was there because I think it's valuable and important to make sure to highlight all of the important creators and people that made the industry what it is. But it was kind of out of my range of importance, right? And so I didn't read through it, but I saw some of the bits there here and there, and I thought they were very nice. Then at the end, we have some cover art stuff, right? We get explained to us a little bit of the process here. I would like to see some text explaining what's going on. I think that it'd be very insightful to have some of that, but I would prefer that they continue to give us this instead of trying to give us like a letters page or something like that. I am not interested in letters pages. Broadly speaking, sometimes I am. In this case, I don't really care. I would prefer that they continue to give us artwork and stuff over letters pages, but if they are going to give us some text, I would like it to be about the art stuff that they're showing us, right? So hopefully we get some of that here in the future. So yeah, that's it for Witchblade number 4. I'm very excited for the next issue, and I know that there's going to be some holiday special stuff at the end of the year. I will probably cover that for this review series, so I'll get around to that when I can. I don't know when that will be because I am thinking of leaving for vacation on the 15th of December, and I will not be back until the 2nd or maybe 3rd of January, so I won't start videos again until the 5th. And then from there, I don't know, how many comic books I'll have to cover that I lost, access to during the winter. So we'll see. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on Witchblade. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next videos.